Hello, I'm Will Forge, and today we will forge. I've got the map loading up now. While it's loading, and I'm just waiting for people to come in, I'm gonna check my Discord to see if I missed anything this morning. Let's see. Oh, I missed some messages from Aaron. Let's see. Oh. Okay, let's see. Alright. There we go. Switch back to the stream so I can see chat properly. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're all good. So, off stream yesterday, I worked on the building. I was trying to sort of make it look good. And I finished the elevator. It's at ground level right now, but I was thinking what I was going to do today. Let's see. Yo, I'm currently at work, so I can only stay for a little. Really hope you can stream later, possibly. That would be cool. I'm not sure if I can yet, but yeah. And what I was thinking about doing today on stream is scripting this to move up and down. Because I built it in position for... what did I just see? I looked up and I thought I saw something out of place. There it is. Yeah. It did. It definitely did. I don't know why it's out of place. It's very out of place. It's very weird. Okay. These are correct still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to grab that one and that one. Duplicate them, bring them over here, and snap them into this one. Just to make sure they're in the right place. Ooh. Let's make this one the magnet point. Okay, get rid of that one and done. Okay, so let's see. Elevator looks incredible. Thanks. Is there any word on 343 fixing the texture bug? Not yet, but they're working on it. That's the only word. The only word is that they know that they know about it and they're working on it. So, so what I had in mind, I had actually put a black wall there, like those black walls, and then I was like, it's too dark. It's too dark. So I replaced it with this paneled concrete, and it feels like the inside of an elevator now, an elevator shaft, and I like it. It gives the contrast that the building needs. Like the open doorway needs to be kind of different. You know what I mean? And all of the doors have this sort of bright effect to them. If you're coming from this direction, they don't. It doesn't. But whenever you're coming from this direction, you're close enough to see the door. But yeah, is the lighting updated? I have not actually run any kind of lighting update. I just sort of, I didn't even put any reflection volumes or anything, so it's pretty basic. How's it going, Aaron? I did finally get that you asked me to go live earlier this morning, but I did not get it until I had already gone live just now. Sorry about that. But also I was asleep, so that's probably why. So what I did was I liked these as columns instead of regular columns, and I had this idea for these to be like, we were talking about them potentially doing experiments on flood, right? So if the flood get out, these are like, I don't know, gas clouds that will break down their maybe they pour out acid, like mists of hydrochloric acid or something like that, piped out of these openings as the flood would try to escape through the doorways. So that's their first line of automated defense, and they just blast them. That's what I was thinking. I also thought it just looked cool. And then you've even got some down here that would fill the elevator down at the bottom here. So yeah. I was just asking because the objects look super dark for us. I don't know if it's intended, but it looks awesome. Yeah, I was making, just for those in particular, I was trying to make it look like dark and ominous like Oni. Like I almost wanted it to look darker than space, was what I was, whenever I started doing it, I was like, whenever I saw the dark in front of the cloud, the stars back there, I was like, this is blotting out the stars and making, you know, space even darker, making it look like it's even darker than the space around it. But I wanted to add a little bit of texture, so what I did was I made it to where whenever it takes damage, it looks like it kind of took damage there. It's kind of hard to see on my lower graphics settings right now, but if you look really close, you can see there are hexes in that. Whenever I was thinking, whenever this takes damage from like little pings of little asteroids or whatever flying through space that happen to hit the upper parts of this building, that, you know, they cause little scratches and stuff like that and damage the paint. But what they do is they leave behind this, it's the tech suit, it's the rubber tech suit, wherever it you know, the, it's not tech suit, but that's what I'm using for it. The grime is set to rubber tech suit, and then whenever the, as like, so the lower areas, like there's less there, and then there's even less at the bottom here, as if like, you know, it doesn't hit down there very, like, you know, asteroids or whatever don't come down and hit that very often, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking that, yeah, I was trying to do something like that. Anyway, ODST coding in the store, really? Can we check it really quick? I'm not on the game right now. Yeah, let's do that, because is it the one that kind of got leaked that's based off the ODST armor colors from Halo 3 ODST? Because I heard they were gonna, oh, not art customize. No, I mean I could go in there and find it, but that's silly. Brush Tread Disruptive. Is that the name of it? Okay, let's look at what this looks like. So it's like a nice semi-gloss gray. Oh, and it's got the oh, it's based on regular Halo 3, not Halo 3 ODST. Unless they had that in Halo 3 ODST, but that's slight. Let me see. They've got the camo on the thigh and on the wrists, but then it's mostly otherwise it's like semi-gloss gray. So yeah, that is based on the ODSTs from, I think, Halo 3, right? Or is it the Marines from Halo 3? You're gonna add a big white Oni symbol on that Oni building? I am. I absolutely am. I was just working so much on the elevator yesterday that I hadn't gotten to it, but I absolutely 100% am. Looks really good on this core. Man, the Mirage core is just really solid. Like, I really like the Mirage core. Like, I'm starting to like the Mirage core even more than I like Mjolnir. Like, that's saying something. I feel like it needs a backpack, but I think that they did this thing. I think they're gonna bring in backpacks as an object, and that's why they did this sort of like basic backpack on this one in Rakshasa. Let's see. I was just curious because it'll definitely pop for sure. Yeah, it will. Especially on all that black. It's gonna be like, yeah. This one I like a lot. This is honestly probably my favorite Mjolnir. Like, as far as like its basic appearance goes. Like, I really like, I used the marked, Rakshasa was first, that's right. I was gonna show with that back the way it is. But Chimera's got the double backpack thing. I don't especially, I think Chimera's probably my least favorite out of all of them in the game right now. You know? I mean, even Yoroi is really awesome, even though it's like doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, you know, because it's all like that. But Mark 5B was like, it's my favorite as far as customizations are concerned. That's why I was using it, because of the options available. Like, I really like the helmet, for example, that OED, I think it is, the one that I use. I forget what it's called right now, but this one is good for its default. Anyway, yeah. So this thing is wonky, and I feel like it looks like it's got Vulcan cannons from Gundam Wing, or from the Gundam series on the sides. Even though I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be cameras. Coding is W. Time to buy. Yeah, it is really good. Oh, maybe the middle of the symbol changes color when the elevator is active? Haha. That would be cool. What I'd probably have to do for that is actually just shine a light on it, and then let the light shift. You know what I mean? If, yeah, that coding is really solid, though. I'm tempted to get it as well, because I have a bunch of points, but... But it's 800, so it's pretty expensive. But, it's, I have a lot of points, so I might get it. Although I am kind of holding out hope that one day they'll make my coding, and if they put that coding into the store whenever they do, I don't know, I'll have to buy it. I might want to save my my extra points for that. Because I requested it, I sent a message to someone on Twitter, and they probably ignored me, because it's just a random guy on Twitter asking them for a specific color scheme. But yeah. Matt Mercer finally announced that he was playing Ganondorf. Apparently, the world already knowing wasn't, Matt Mercer, by the way, is the guy who does Critical Role, if you didn't know. And, he's playing Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom. What do we got going on here? Nothing wrong with being north of 30. Yeah. And news from, wait, I see Forge Lord. No. Yes. Who's he replying to? So you're saying next week? No. So you're saying there's a chance. Okay. Anyway, that was pretty funny. Okay, let me get back to chat, because for some reason it went to another tab. That was weird. It looks hot on Mark V. Yeah, it does. It looks really good on Mark V. It looks really good on I would say on Mark, what do you call it? I liked it a lot on the, on Mark V, on Mirage, and on, a little bit on 7, but then, like, pretty good on 7, and then I really liked it on, gosh, what was the other one? Anyway, yeah, I think it looks great. I'm definitely going to watch this whole stream when I get home, so if I'm not here or when I'm not here, you can ask me questions if you like, and I'll get back to you. If not, that's okay, too. Sounds good. Let's see. Sounds good to me. Okay, so, what I need is to make this elevator move up and down. And this script brain's just sitting here. Did I put this here, or did you put this here, Ripshade? Because I don't remember putting it here, but it's just here. And I'm just gonna use this as my collection point. I guess I could put a pointer so I could move the pointer around a little easier. I've got all my pointers lined up out here for the correct heights, and I'm just gonna grab their locations and grab their Z, and then tell this to move up to that location. Tell all of these to move up. I can't just tell these to just move up to that location. I think what I need to do is tell them to... I need to get this point's Z. Like this object right here is basically my floor of this elevator, right? So it's my height. If I get this thing's height... Well... No. Because it may not be. It's probably... Let's see. If I go to here, it's that the base... Is it above or below? It's in the middle. Okay, I need something that's actually flush with this height. Which means... to determine where this thing's located. Good question. See, it was already there. My brother tried scripting it at one point. Oh, gotcha. Makes sense. I guess I could use this. Where is this thing's rotation point? Is it under? Yeah, I'm gonna use this weapon pad to determine where this elevator is located, I think. Because it's kind of at just the right height, I think, that I can say, okay, move the whole elevator, you know. Okay, what I'm basically gonna do is say, okay, get this thing's location, what's its Z? Okay, what's the Z of this of this pointer in the back for the 3rd floor or whatever, you know? And then I'm gonna say, okay, take this Z and minus this Z from it or whatever, get the difference. And then whenever you get the difference, make an absolute value or whatever. No, actually, I still need a negative value, so it'll move down. Take the pointer minus this thing's location from it. Take that, move it, you know, that far on the Z-axis. Move the elevator that far on the Z-axis, and then it should show up, lining up exactly with where it needs to be in the elevator shaft. And then I put this here, and I'm going to make it to where whenever that piece enters some like little trigger zones up and like on here, which I might move the arrows into that sort of, you know, spine to sort of use those little arrows as my trigger zones for this. Should the railing even be there, especially when it's not moving, or should they stay and then I'm 4v4, it will be the original height before, but in other modes the railings aren't, so they don't. Right. So I think I'm gonna keep the railing there because I did like the railing and I think it's kind of cool. Because like whenever that means that you have to move to this opening and allow people to sort of, like, you either hop over the railing, which isn't too hard, you know, or you have to, if you want to, like, you know, power slide or something like that, you're gonna have to come around, which I kind of like. So I'm kind of partial to the railing. It's not even it's in like a default position. It's not even in the correct position because it's gonna come up to that height. And this railing is gonna be, it's gonna be like halfway up the railing, because the railing is so people don't fall down the pit whenever the elevator goes up. You know what I mean? It's really protecting people from falling. Whereas with the rest of this, it's like there's no railing. And I'm thinking about putting like something that will come up but we don't want that really. We want this to we want the block out to be open here. I don't think we want to visually come up with anything. But I am going to do this. Okay, this thing right here. I know I'm all over the place, but this piece right here, I put this here so that whenever the elevator is not at this floor, this little piece is gonna raise up. And that's what I was trying to say about the pointers. I'm gonna have a pointer. I might move them inside that spine, just a little closer into the building, so that I can use them as area monitors. And then whenever that piece right there enters the area monitor, this will go down to open up. Whenever it leaves the area monitor, this will rise back up. So there'll be a little script brain that just it'll just have these two little little value, and it'll just raise up and down with this one piece. And I'm going to use the same thing whenever it enters the area monitor at this floor. That's going to make little tiny bridges extend out of the floor here. And then that way it always feels like it's something that someone would logically build for this structure. And then at the top, of course, more bridges going across. And then at the bottom floor, I don't think we're going to need anything because it's going to be down in the warehouse. And I feel like they'd just, they'd just be like, caution tape, don't fall down that elevator shaft, dude. You know what I mean? Or that would be the floor of the elevator shaft anyway. But yeah, I guess for 4v4, I think it should be stuck like it was, so you still have that original jump and people can't fall below. But other models and modes, it's all fair game. Yeah, exactly. And you used to be able to duck down right here and walk off and fall to your death, which is fine. I just, I mean, like, you had to be kind of an idiot to be like, to run and then like power slide off into your death before. But because we are adding stuff down there and there's going to be a kill volume during the 4v4, I don't want people to be able to do that anymore because they might be confused and think that they can just go down there, even though it's 4v4. And then just go off to their death and be like, and not understand why they got killed, So, yeah, just to clarify to players, I put this little rail here, and I was like, yeah, because the height before is like roughly right here, so they won't be able to like jump through the gap for the rails or jump through the gap here either. So yeah, that's the only reason I added that. And then I was like, yeah, it'd be also really cool to just have it animate because it looks cool. It's a support piece and not a railing. But I really like it as an emergency railing kind of thing. Feels very, kind of feels like ODST, what New Mombasa would have come up to defend it. It would be this kind of strange, cross junction thing with like grip, like angular grip pieces and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. I think it looks really cool. I like that piece. I think whoever made that did a good job. Let's see. So, yeah, I need to do an area monitor. And actually, you know what? I should just drop in. Let me float up here. I have a prefab for Clin's script. I think is named Clin. But, yeah, there's Clin's Pump Shroud script. So this is the entire Pump Shroud script from before, from Waterworks. And so I already have my area monitor up here as an arrow. So yeah, I think I am going to just use the area monitor as an arrow. Windows wants to update, in case anyone's wondering what that noise was. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and use this as an area monitor. I just got to bring it down here into the elevator shaft and get it to grab it. All this is going to do is grab all of these objects I noticed, by the way, that the entire map is at one x-axis instead of... It's centered at one x-axis instead of 0. So that was the only thing that's off on the grid, as far as I'm aware. I don't know about why, but and Z doesn't matter because you had to pick a roughly middle zone height. But if whenever you're building out the underground, while you're doing your the layout down there, just be aware that the entire map is basically shifted this way. It's this way, you know, it's slightly that way by 1 point, which means if you want to mirror something, you can mirror it and then set it inside, and then reset its location to negative the same value minus 2, because it's going to be +1, and then you want it to go an additional 1 that way. So, like, yeah, you want to go negative. If you just do the same value negative, it'll go, like, too far. But if you go negative and then you take out 2, I think it was putting it in the right location for a lot of these objects. But it's okay, because, like I said, it's not too hard to work around, because it's literally just +1, so it's fine. Yeah. It probably was like while creating the original basic grid, something just got shifted, and then you based all the rest of the grid off it or something, and then the rest of the map was off that, so it's no biggie. It just was, I was just letting you know, so whenever you're doing the layout, that you know what's going on there. Okay, so this thing's area monitor is way too big. Every single dynamic object inside the square will get grabbed by this area monitor and will become part of the elevator. And that's not what we want. We want to go down here. We want to set our area monitor boundary to, let's go, I think it's more like 15. No, it's more than that, but oh, I think I gotta go out and go back in, because I don't know if that bug is affecting this as well. Here's 45. Okay, that might grab that spawn point, so let's just go 40. Perfect, okay. And then we'll do 40 here as well, and see how that works. Yeah, that's good. Oh no, it's gonna grab this rail. We don't want it to think this rail is part of the elevator, so we gotta bring that in. Actually, I almost feel like putting it back up to its original location as its default position, because that would make it to where I could make it a really thin area monitor that goes right above that rail. But nah, I'll just do it how it is and figure it out, because I don't really have to do that. I can go like 35. Nope, not even 35. I can go 33. There. And now it's going to ignore that. The center of these objects are inside the area monitor, so it will grab those. And it will grab this. And then the bottom does not need to be 300 and stuff. And whatever. We'll go with 20. I think that should be more than enough to go underneath the elevator. Yeah. Okay, so that'll grab all of these pieces of the elevator. It kind of goes a little into there, but I don't... Oh, cool, not too far. Okay, yeah, we're good. And it's only going to grab, of course, dynamic objects, because it can't interact with static objects. So the entire elevator is going to be grabbed, including the weapon platform, because those are always dynamic. And also the script brain. I might move the script brain, because honestly, I was going to use it, but then I just realized that I have cleanse script anyway, so I'm gonna base it off of cleanse script, because it's gonna have to grab all of these and move them at one time. So might as well use cleanse script brain as well, because it's already in there. And these are your damage controllers, so they're important. I'm gonna put this above the elevator shaft. Let's see, and I'll put this at like at 1, see if that will put it in the middle. Okay, that put all of them in the middle. Now I'm very confused about this, so I gotta bring one of them down to set them next to each other. Okay, there we go. They're all at 1. Okay. If it was a prefab, it would have moved them together to 1 and then kept them sort of relative to each other, I think. But I'm not actually sure. Okay, save. Check in here. Okay, so here's cleanse script. And this one is designed just to move it up and then drop it, and move it up and then drop it. We want it to move to a specific height, and the height like where it moves is going to be different. So what I'm thinking is, so here's the question. Here's one question about this design is, do we want, what the heck? Do we want it to be, okay, the way this one would work is that it would move to, if I like directly translated this to moving to those specific heights, then the elevator would just go to specific heights and it would be on a loop. It would just go, you know, I could just like sequence it to make it go from one to the next, which I think is probably the best idea for its default movement. And then I'm thinking that there are switches next to each of the areas, right? And if you press the switch, then it will basically call out a specific height, and the entire the elevator will stop its sequence, go to that height, and then pick up from there as time goes on. You know what I mean? Or something to that effect. So you could call the elevator, you wouldn't be able to tell the elevator where to go, but yeah. What do you think? Another possibility could be that if you're on the elevator and you ping a floor with your, up on your D-pad on my case, with the way I've got use controller and stuff, if you ping a floor, then it will set that floor to being the one it's going to go to next, but then you can't ping downward because there's floor in the way. So you can only ping up. That doesn't really, that's not a good trade-off. I think if there was like a hole in the elevator somewhere that was small enough that you couldn't fall through it, but big enough that you could look down, then that would be a good design. Or if the elevator was just like had nothing around it, had no elevator shaft, so you could actually just look down at the ground level and hit ping. But anyway, okay, so in that case, okay, I think we might just move on a sequence, and we could theoretically, like I was saying, create a switch on each floor. You already had a switch. I don't know if you intended to use that switch for that, but basically, or if it was just supposed to be decorative. But basically, yeah, we could put a switch on each floor and make that switch go ahead and, oh good, the music did start back up again. We can go ahead and make that switch, just call the elevator to your floor. And I don't know if we should make it to where the floor, like, does it go up from there as by default? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I think up. Here's the reason why. If you want to go down, you can just jump down, because there's no fall damage, and you're not a real-life person who would get hurt from that. So, or be scared of that, because you're a Spartan. So, if you want to get down, you don't need to call the elevator to go down, but you do need to call the elevator to go up. So, by default, once you call the elevator to your location, it'll wait there for a second, and then it'll go up to the next floor. That's what I'm thinking. So, the script we need a script logic handler, and then the script like movement handler, and the movement handler needs to be variable to go up and down. I know. I'm getting boring. People are just I'm just talking about the idea. I can tell people are getting bored, because unless this is YouTube's messing up, but like it does sometimes. But it looks like people are leaving while I'm talking. So let me maybe I should get into it. I think, okay. Yeah, we're gonna make it move first and all that stuff. Okay, this delete object can go, because that is literally deleting. There's a movement. I do need a sound effect. And I do want to, I want to activate it right as it goes to move. And I want that sound effect. Okay, let's place a sound volume, or sound object, and put it right next to that motor. And make it a motor humming kind of thing. Okay. Is it in FX? Or is it in... Where is the sound effects stuff? I always forget. Let's see. Gameplay. Audio. There we go. Audio emitter. Why was that trying to grab a prefab that I was looking at earlier? That was weird. Or I've got my prefab section. Okay, so this audio emitter is basically going to come right out of this thing, so we're going to put it right at here. Actually, let's put it up here. And, yeah. And we'll set its location to 1. Nope, I set to 0. 1. Okay, and then we're going to set its sound to a nice... Let's see... Category... Animals, characters, computers, debris, door, energy, fire, forerunner textures. Forerunner textures? Are they overhauling how they're categorizing their textures? Why is forerunner textures? What is going on here? Have y'all seen this before? I don't remember it. I don't remember this being in here. What is this? Did this come with the last update? Are they in the process of redoing how textures work and it's accidentally showing up in the sounds? Because that's really cool if it is. Human, distant screams, crowd. I don't remember this section, but I probably just didn't go into it. Insects, light, machines. Here we go. Air filtration vent. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's very subtle. This has always been there. Okay, I didn't know. I might have even seen it before and pointed it out and thought about it back when I was doing waterworks, but I don't remember. So there's a vent. I'm turning off the music for a second while we listen to these sounds. Antenna hum. Okay. This was the other vent. But anyway, broken fan. That's an actual, yeah. Let's see. You have to set this sound for both friendly and enemy. It's so backwards compared to Halo 5. In Halo 5, you just set it to whatever sound you want. Yeah, I forget how to do that. So do I need to make 2 of them, or do I just, yeah. Oh, friendly sounds, enemy sounds. Okay, I see. Sound, broken fan. Okay, that's not too bad, but I kind of wanted more. I'm sure there's something else. Car engine ticks. Distant giant boosters. Distant servos. Electric buzz. What does distant servos sound like? I feel like that one would be cool. Oh. That's not just distant servos. That's like power tools. I see. That's the servos and the power tool. Halo 5, you just said it to, yeah, whatever you want. Okay, I thought that was a new one. Electric buzz, fan A. I don't think these are going to sound like fan large A. That kind of sounds like a good motor for whenever this thing moves up and down. Fan rattle. Fan rattle A. Fan wobble. Fuel filter machine. Fuel pump. Fuel pump movement. Generator idle sputter. Let's see. Industrial vent A. Okay, hold on. Lab ceiling, large fan, machine coil. That coding is a big dub. I know, right? It was a solid decision on their part. Machine hum. This might work. If we can get into machine, like machine panel wall, machine room center, machine room hum. All of these are like gas powered. That could be it. We could always turn on 2 of them at, like, overlapping. Yeah. What if we have this hum? Not that hum. Machine room center. Right? I think I have it turned off for the sound effects, by the way. We're just gonna put this here. And that's why it's not, you don't hear it right now. Or it could be because I got the, I might be considered an enemy right now. But yeah. I'll wait for Halo 2 Anniversary version. Yeah, that would be amazing. Okay. And then we got the machine room. No, the, what was it? The machine rumble. Okay, I like that first one. Okay, now I think I have it turned off for sound effects or something. Let me see. Let's see. Controls, Nav-mesh. Oh wait, it might be here. Bounty type pro, blah 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 blah. Where's effects? Decorators, ambient sound, default, none. Enable preview is on. Okay. Audio effect. Yeah, we don't need to do any of that. Let's see. Oh right, it's only whenever you come over here after holding down the back button, isn't it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This way. Elevator. There it is. no. I have the script. Whoops. It's just, I forgot to turn off the cleanse script. So we have a, oh wait, hold on. We have it moving up and down. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go see if I can figure this out from, while the elevator's disappearing on me. I need to see if I can hear it. Because I want to hear what they sound like together. Oh, good, that piece isn't moving. Okay, that hum is not quite right. Is this thing not set to dynamic? It must not be. Oh, wait, no, it's too far down. That's why it's not being grabbed. Well, the elevator's moving right now. It's just moving like the pump shroud. We just need to get it to move normally. Okay, so, the sound of the hum is not quite right, I think. Machine rumble. Oh, now it's playing both of them. Do I just have to go in and... Oh, do I just have to hold down the back button to sort of make it build the sounds? I know you can build sounds. Whoop, where am I? Here we go. Okay, I'm not sure how sound effects work and how they're supposed to be doing this right now, and I think that that's because they're not doing it as they're supposed to. Let's build audio real quick. Let's see. Hola, mi amigo. How's it going, germ guy? Go into play mode for sounds to trigger. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So these won't trigger until I'm in play mode. But once you're in play mode, if you are still within their area and you go back into Forge, it seems like they continue to play. But that might be more of a bug than anything else. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Oh, it's the other thing. The hum is the one I like. It's that like machine sound. It sounds almost like a machine room counter. Oh, I think I meant to do this one. Let's see, machine room hum A. This might have been the one. Or B, I mean. Yeah. That hum, 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 and then that'll sound like a good elevator. Okay, the other thing for some reason is still playing because I was nearby still whenever I came out of play mode. So, we need to go back over there, reset what's playing, and it will sound better. Let's see, some sounds don't play in play mode. You have to go to in customs. So this is the sound of our elevator. It's these two sound effects that are playing at the same time. And what we're going to do is we're going to delete them at first, and then we're going to rebuild them whenever it goes to move. And then we're going to delete them again, and we're going to rebuild them. My day's going pretty good. How's yours? So this thing's area needs to go higher to grab those two. I might put both of them inside of each other or something, but I think they're okay how they are. Let's see, if I go up top to, let's say, 10, that should get them. Whoa, that's way more than I intended. Let's just go 5. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we gotta find out how to grab that last piece. There we go. We need to go a little lower down at the bottom. We'll go to 30 to really grab all of the elevator. Now the elevator is moving, but it's moving like the pump shroud, and that's not what we want. Going light. I've been playing Pokemon a lot lately. Oh, nice. The brand new one. Because, yeah, that one looks nice. I actually beat, I went back to Breath of the Wild yesterday, and I beat the actual, not the game yet, but I beat all of the DLC. I got the horse, robot, motorcycle thing. So, yeah, finally done with that. Let's see. And by the way, this thing, I've got the elevator shaft, like, panels sort of ending here. I might go all the way up to the top of the texture on the panel, which might require me to, no, it does go all the way up there. Just, like, I might, like, raise this up. And the reason is because I didn't really intend for it to be cut off like that in the first place. I just didn't, move this piece. But I like this because, like, it's like the floor there lines up with where they started paying attention to the quality of it, because maybe, you know, maybe this area is a little bit more, like, exposed or something to the light. I mean to space. But yeah, anyway. Yo, you are the only person streaming Halo Infinite. How do you feel about it? Am I really? No one else is streaming right now? Nah, OG Gen 4 on the DS, Diamond, Platinum, Pearl. I feel great. That sounds awesome. I don't know why those people why everyone's leaving. I know Unreal Engine Fortnite is awesome, and that's probably where a lot of them are going. But I just feel like this is what I would rather do. I like Halo. So this is what I'm doing. OG Gen 4 on DS, Diamond, Platinum, Pearl. Nice. I have to say, I really liked Emerald and Sapphire. I was actually like that was the last one that I played that I was really into. I also got Black and White. I skipped Diamond and Pearl, but my my little sister had Diamond and Pearl. Or one of them had Diamond, one of them had Pearl, or one of them just had Diamond. I know they have Diamond because I inherited Diamond, as they didn't really care about their games, and I was like, why would you not care about your games? This is going to be fun in the future too. But anyway, yeah, so that was how, so basically I have it, but I haven't actually played Diamond. But Ruby and Sapphire I played a lot, and the main reason, honestly, it's also the reason I stopped playing Pokemon, was because I lent it to a friend because he wanted to use my close to Elite Four and the ability to trade and stuff like that with his version of, I can't remember if it was Ruby or Sapphire or Emerald, but he wanted to be able to get all the Pokemon. So I lent him my Sapphire. Whenever I got it back, he had somehow managed to misplace my Kyogre, however you pronounce it, that Pokemon's name. Kyogre, I don't remember. Pokemon, the TV show pronounced it, I think, Kyogre. But basically, he somehow misplaced mine, and I got back one that was at like level 50, but mine was at like level 80 or something like that, and it just wasn't mine, and its stats were not the same. Like, it was a weak Kyogre. It was and it didn't have the same moveset. I had taught it a move that was like a TM you can only get one of, and stuff like that, so I was pretty annoyed about it, and then I never... But he was like, he's going to check his... He never could find it in his own game. He gave me his game to... Like, he lent me his game to go through it and find it. And the only thing we could think was that a bug deleted mine, or that he let mine free by accident somehow, or something. I don't know. Spent about $1,000 on Pokemon games about a year ago. Nice. Yeah, Pokemon games are... They don't get old. The gold and silver, original ones, recollecting my childhood, nice. The original ones, batteries die eventually, and that's kind of depressing, but like I've got some that have the batteries dead. I think I need to go into the script brain at this point and make it, and start doing that. So, I think what I need, I've got the brain selected, I think I need all of these named. I need to name these so whenever I'm in there I know which one I'm using. So this one's pointer needs to be not pointer 2, it needs to be top floor. And then this one needs to be, well, I'll call this balcony. Actually. Balcony. I don't even know if that's how you spell balcony. I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing. I don't think I've literally ever had to write the word balcony in my life. I'm just guessing. Let's see. I guess this would be, I guess this would be, we'll just go floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. I didn't want to have to do it that simple, but we'll do like a, okay, floor 1. Okay, this will be floor 1, and the basement will be the basement floor. Like the construction will be the storage place will be basement. I haven't set that one because I didn't know how far down he's gonna block it out. Because having a high ceiling might be cool, I'm thinking, but I don't know how far down he wants to go. This one's gonna be the 4v4 default. So that's that one's not a floor. That makes sense. It is the 4v4 default. This one will be floor 2. I named it floor, right? Yeah, floor 1. Okay. Not like story, not second story or anything like that. And this one will be floor 3. Okay, so now I can select all of these. And I can go into the script brain and create some nodes to reference them just so that I have them off on the side here. Add object references, and I don't have to worry about finding them later, because that would be simpler to just make some references over here and then duplicate them, which it's all fixed up. So, and actually, I'm gonna orient these in the order that they are vertically. So not counting down as they descend, but counting up as they ascend. Wait, the other way around. Haven't played Halo in like 2 weeks. It keeps resetting my settings every time I get on, and it's super frustrating. Even more so because I do want to finish my castle, but I'm tired of the game being lame. Yeah. Like your graphics settings or whatever, or what? I know it comes up and it'll have the settings menu. Like it did that for me today. Whenever I booted it up, it had the settings menu, and then whenever you back out of that, it's like, here's your lighting, set up your lighting. And then it went in. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, we need to reference our sound effects now in here so we can delete them. What we're gonna do is, I think it would be efficient to just say delete. Okay. You gotta move around here until the mouse disappeared, then you can move the mouse and it'll take control. Okay. Add object references. So if we just say, if we make this a group and we say for each object in group, delete them, right? Then we could do that, and that would be easy. But if we just go delete this object, that's just 4 nodes. And if we do that every single time, it's 4 nodes each time. So if we delete them like that, I think it'll be more efficient than instead of saying for each object in list and then make a list and then delete the object, then that would actually be, yeah, including the 2 objects and the list and the for each object and the last one, that'll be 5. So instead of doing 5, let's do 4 by just saying delete this object, delete this object. If we had 4 of these objects to delete, it might be more it would definitely be more efficient to do it that way for the for each object method. But if you just have 2, it's more efficient this way. And if you have 3, it's net even. So yeah, field of view on screen effects and team colors mostly, but it's happened like a 100 times. Yeah, it's really annoying. And I'm not sure why they don't have that under control. But yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we don't need this object reference. We're going to say object emitter and object emitter 1. We'll do this. We'll duplicate this. We will delete this and clear this connection. We will connect these 2 together. Grab this, move it up, make room for our other object reference, and we have now deleted our sound effects as soon as it starts, which will make them stop making noise. And then wait 1 second is to allow dynamic objects to load in. And since we don't have a whole lot of dynamic objects on this map, which is good, they're going to load in pretty quick, so 1 second should be more than enough. We saw how the elevator was basically working just fine. Let's see, object reference, pointer 1. This is our area monitor. Yeah. I don't know why it's just called pointer 6. We might need to rename that. I just make it named like object collector. But apparently whenever it's in the prefab and you put it in, it just defaults back to a pointer name, a basic pointer name. Get object list variable. So our object list is this. Okay, what we're doing is we have our declare object list variable, right, called objects, and it's an empty variable and it's a global. At this point, we set object list variable and we grab all of the objects in that area monitor and set them to the value. We then go into for each object in that same exact variable, right? For each object, we are setting the vector3 variable inside of it. So there's an object scope variable over here called original position. We've got original position. And what we're doing is we're setting that original position's value, right? And then we are checking for despawn, which is down here. It's just make sure that it like makes sure that that all the objects are still loaded in correctly on everyone's servers by like deleting them and respawning them and stuff. And then get object position is right here. We need to set vector3 variable. We get the current object's current position and we set it to that current position in its variable. So each object is storing its object scope. Each object has its own version of original position, and each object is storing its own position, its own original position in the variable original position. Now, I don't know that we need this right now because we need the positions to be based on the node, the arrows. So we might need to tweak this. Right now, like I think we just need to get the location of our weapon pad and the location of our arrow, of the given arrow we need to move to. And we need to figure out the distance, and we need to move them that far. So I don't think we even necessarily need this right now. What's up? Okay. Yeah. So wait for in seconds. This is at 0 for now because it wasn't necessary, but it was here to debug something earlier, so I might be able to delete that and get some nodes back. Trigger custom event global descend. Okay, so in descend. Okay, we just need to rebuild this to make one of them, not ascend or descend, just move. Like right now we've got it set to, it goes up one speed and then it drops a different speed, but we want it to move the same speed going up or going down. So I don't think we need to have different versions. And then on top of that, anyway, this is probably the one we're going to go with is right here because it's got the spawn and delete objects thing. I'll explain that better in a minute, which means that we don't need the ascending controller and the descending controller either, which are the two arrows that are up there by the script brain. They take damage, and whenever they take damage, they move up. They declare a movement distance, so it makes it all the server damage is higher priority than anything else, so the server will unify all of their animations correctly. If you do it if you trigger it via damage. So what we need to do, I think we're probably gonna end up deleting this one completely, and we're just gonna do a move. Descend is the one that it starts with, which is this one. Cool. So we can just reuse that, and we can just rename it to operate or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Right. So let me think. For each object, it's on an iterator. For each object, in the object list, we are going to damage pointer 4, which is our descending controller, and then wait, and then spawn. I believe this is the boom. Yeah, this is our wait to spawn the boom. We don't want to wait at all in this one. We want it to run the sound effect. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to make this go to here, spawn object. We want to delete this. We want to copy these two, duplicate. These two sound effects need to come down here. And we're going to spawn object, not wait. We want to immediately then duplicate this and spawn the next object. So that it's just boom, boom. Let's see, what are you scripting right now? The bases? I'm scripting the elevator, actually. Because once this is working, it's one of the things that needs to be working. So, basically, so I need to work it. And then what I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to script the elevator, and then probably by the end of this day, probably off stream, I will have scripted the thing that is going to determine, how many players are in the match and all that kind of stuff. And then so tomorrow I'll go over that script and explain how it works so that you can make your own in your own maps. That will, trigger different events around the map, or rather change how the events around the map work. Yeah. we don't need to wait again. We just need to... Oh, wait, we do. Wait, hold on. We will need to wait here. Because we don't want to immediately trigger the next one. And this is based on... Okay, this wait was 7 seconds. And I think that's a good time. This one was the drop, so it was very fast. So let's go in here and change this to 7. And I liked that. It was a good speed for the pump shroud to go up, and the elevator wants to move a little bit slowly, so you have time to like jump on it. So we can do 7 seconds. That sounds good. But then what we're going to do is re-trigger this same script. Which means we need something to in here that will, let's see, damage the object. Okay, this is just making it move. Right, this is just going to tell it to move. But when this takes damage, when pointer 5 takes damage, right, on object damage, this is where it actually tells it where to move. So you can see that it gets the object index, and it gets the vector 3 variable or original position, and it applies it. And then this is the on object damage 4. These are the two controller points as well. Whenever they take damage, they move it up or down depending. This is the one we're probably going to use because this has the actual value in it. Negative 150 was what it was in Waterworks. So we're going to set this to a variable, and we're going to take this, calculate this vector 3 to add to here based on a variable, a couple variables they're going to add to get, or they're going to deduct from one another to get the difference, and then apply it to this vector. And what that means is those two variables are going to be where the elevator is now and the next arrow on the list. But the next arrow on the list we need to trigger based on where the elevator is now, and that's where we're going to use when it enters this trigger volume. You know, remember how I was talking about whenever it enters it, it's going to lower that thing and it's going to cause bridges to go across and stuff like that. When that happens and that triggers, we're also going to change which value is the next pointer that it needs to go to. And that next pointer is going to be calculated based on which one we're at and which direction we're going, right? So we need to know if we're going down at the time, then we need to go to the next one down, and if we're going up at the time, we need to go to the next one up. And we need to throw in there a condition that says, if we're on a 4v4 map only, then it actually doesn't ascend at all. And if we're on, 16v16, maybe it doesn't go all the way to the top, and open up the Oni building. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll just leave that there. But yeah. So that way we're not going to bar you from going to any particular floor in here. We're just going to move you to the floor we need to go to. And up here, we're not going to even tell you what floor to go to. We're just going to say move to a floor. So this one says move to the next floor, basically, effectively. This one says this is the floor you're moving to. And then we need to make a third one that says or this one says how to get to the correct height of that floor. And then we need a third one that tells this one which floor we're going to, effectively. That's kind of how it's going to be structured. So we don't need this one. We can delete that. And we don't need this one, because we're going to just use these two over and over, and we're going to punch in different variables to make these two function the way we want them. The way that the pump shroud worked, it made more sense to do it the other way, where it's just straightforward, hard-coded, whatever. But yeah, Jesus sounds so crazy. We never need pointers in Halo 5 to tell objects where to go. You just kind of messed around and figured it out. And if pointers did exist in Halo 5, I literally never used them. It is interesting to know, though. Yeah, so in Halo 5, though, they had that problem with the jittering objects and stuff like that. And so, at least in here, because we can base it off of when an object is damaged, and we have a number of means of making them move to the location, I think it's kind of worth it. You know what I mean? Oh. This does not need to be 1. This needs to be 6. We need to wait until it gets there, so we're waiting 7, but we want to move it there in 6 because that extra second is there so that it doesn't immediately start moving again whenever it gets to the new destination. We want to kind of sort of pause, and then you might actually even increase that. In fact, I might make this wait for in seconds and leave this here, right, as just wait for in seconds as 7. And then that'll be its movement time. But then, make another wait that I can move up and down if I want to adjust how long it sits at each floor. And in fact, I could set it to a variable and make it to where on Big Team Battle it waits at each floor for either less time or more time. Like if it goes to 24 players, since it has more floors to go to, I can make it go through the floors faster. But then if it's on 12v12, or if it's on what do you call it? If it has 24 players, it moves faster. If it's got 16 players, it could move a little bit slower because it would have one fewer floor to go to. And yeah, so this is probably how I'm going to design this. But like I said, I'm going to do that. A lot of this is going to be just off stream. In fact, I'm probably about to have to get off because all my kids are awake. So, and stuff needs to get done with their schoolwork and stuff. But let's see. And they don't just do their schoolwork on their own yet. They don't know how to read yet, so they're learning to read because it's first grade. But yeah, there was definitely problems with it, but as long as you weren't trying to push it past its limitations, I felt it was a pretty smooth for most stuff. I did remake Foundry and tried to make moving fans, and they would always explode apart, lol. Yeah. Oh, Aaron sent something Discord. Oh, nice. Yeah, see, that looks really solid. That makes this armor core look more cool, to be honest. Like, I think this armor core looks like it needs to be very practical. So, like, they need the more practical color codings for this one. And, like, different kinds of camo would be good. Also, hi, I'm back. Hey, how's it going? I was about to get off. You can hear probably my baby crying in the background. Because I guess he's not calming down for my wife or something, or my wife's having to get the other kids something right now and having to let her sit in a swing or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, so the more practical armor core colorings would be really cool for this one, and I'm not sure why they go so wild with this one in particular. It's the way it's like ramshackle, it feels like it needs to be very practical. So either make the paint color schemes look ramshackle or super practical, like this. I can't move yet because it's still doing this. Okay, now it'll go. Okay. So I'm going to move these over to make room for those lines right there so they can actually be seen. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do this off stream because I do have to figure out how I'm going to do it. More like thoroughly. Like it's like I've got pseudocode in my head for how I'm going to do it. But I don't have it definitively. We've got to start, and that's about it. Right now, it'll move once, and then it'll move down once and then stop, because I deleted the moving back up section. And it also will spawn the things, but it will never despawn them again. So we need to despawn them again whenever it stops moving. In fact, that might be... Oh, you know what? If we waited 7 seconds and then we despawned them, and then we wait another, or maybe wait 6 seconds to match this, despawn them, and then wait another 3 seconds after that. That would be what that second wait would be good for, is that we would basically just have this and then despawn them. Yeah, that would work. In fact, I might just do that real quick before I get off, and that'll be probably the last thing I do real quick, so I've got that in my head right now. Gonna just do it. I'm gonna grab these, because they're just despawn, and remove that one. Duplicate. These are literally what I needed to do. So I can just drop this in. There. And move this one up. Do this. And we will wait another like 3 seconds, and then it will trigger the next one. And that will be we'll do 3 seconds. We'll just wait 3 seconds, and then we'll move on to the next one for now. But like I said, we can make this variable. I'm going to set this to 6 then, because we are waiting again. We don't need to worry about, you know what I mean? Like, we can just delete those objects and then respawn them again in a second. So, at exactly 6 seconds, like this one, we will just delete them, and then, yeah, do that. But, yeah, so then we will reactivate. Oh, we're activating Ascend, which doesn't exist anymore. We just need to reactivate this one. Let's go ahead and rename it, like I said earlier, to Operate, or we'll just say, Elevate means to move up, but like an elevator, I don't know. And Lift also means to go up, so if we go with the British version, it doesn't really help. We can just say, Elevator, Operate. There we go. And then I'll just copy that. so I don't have to retype it in every time. That is not what we want. We need to go making our nodes overlap. Let's see. Re-trigger itself. It doesn't need to go anywhere else. Just needs to do that one again. And then this one needs to also be set to elevator operate. Could have put operate elevator. Might have made more sense that way. But anyway, there we go. At any rate, we have it. So this is going to move down, and it's going to make the sound while it's moving down. And that's all I've done right now. And then off stream, I'm going to figure out the rest of it to make it basically move to the exact locations, and I'll explain exactly how they work tomorrow. But yeah, I really need to mess with scripting. This stuff looks so foreign to me, Lil. Yeah, and it's a really good life skill anyway. I mean, I guess in the future we're going to have AI that are going to program things for us whenever we tell them what to make for us. It's going to not probably take too much longer for that to come out. And then go a little bit farther, we're going to all have our brains connected to the computers, and we're just going to think these programs into existence without even having to know how the code actually functions that we are thinking into existence. So in like 50 to 100 years, it won't be a life skill that's actually valuable anymore. But for now, it's a life skill that's extremely valuable because there are a lot of fields that use, programming. And this is going to be, it's very useful to know how they function, just in general. But yeah. Yo, stop, that's freaky. I mean, the human brain is just a complex machine, and whenever we can extend our memory by allowing us to download our memory from the analog biological functions of our real brains into a computer system, that computer system just becomes another lobe of our brain. And then once you can access the internet, you can download data like, frickin' the Matrix. And the beauty is that human brains are really plastic, have really high plasticity, but they have a very limited chemical, mechanical process of how they can bring in thought. So you won't really be able to hack the brain with a computer system to like control someone very easily, unless that computer is directly connected to your nervous system. So as long as it filters through the brain before it gets to the nervous system, it's going to be almost impossible to hack the human brain through the internet. So you'd have this it's like the blood-brain barrier. It's just like viruses just can't get through it. And then it'll actually probably be a thing that we all have like computer chips in our brains, and while we're sleeping, we rent out our brain power to dream work, and we remotely operate machines. So factories will actually be run by machines that are remote operated by human operators, and it happens while we're asleep. And children will be able to run them even potentially, because you may not even need to have like a major skill in the thing. They could like literally everyone could be like cloud computing the operation of our factories, and then we don't have to pay anyone for the materials because we helped build them. Time to invest in tinfoil hats, right? You do remember how the Matrix ended, though, right? Yeah, but the Matrix ended that way because they built AI, and that was dumb. The truth is, we're going to probably, before we can make an actual smart AI that can actually think on its own, for real, not like one that's just simulating thinking on its own, before we actually make one of those, we're probably going to have our own consciousnesses in the computers. So if we can outthink the AI because we can use the computer too, like, the AI is so smart because it can access a quantum computer and think faster than humanity and outthink us and outmaneuver us and strategically, defeat, like, overwhelm us. Yeah, but by then humans will be in the computers too. So your brain will be able to run processes that are part of your consciousness, an extension of your consciousness, in the same quantum computer at the same rate as the AI. So how would the AI outthink you? There's billions of us. If all of us or most of us had quantum computers attached, if we were remotely accessing quantum computers, just like that AI is remotely accessing a quantum computer, then how would it outthink us? We would be billions of us against one. Doesn't make sense. I don't need to real life created uprising. We don't need no space Hitlers here, sir. Yeah, exactly. So like, it's just not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think the robots are gonna be able to, because we're gonna be at the same pace as them. So yeah. Anyway, I gotta get going. So That's just, yeah. Robots with machine guns, bro. Well, yeah, true, but humans with machine guns. And robot bodies. Like, you're going to be able to like, if you're worried about Terminator because they can kill us better because we're squishy, then just think about the fact that you could remote access a Terminator body too and remote control it to fight the Terminators. Because your brain has a computer chip in it too. You are an AI. You're just in a meat suit. And so we're just going to build AI. We're just going to give our abilities to be the same as the computers. Aimbot on my AI companion. Yeah. So, like, you're going to remote operate your own Terminator fighting the Terminators whenever the Terminators come about. So there's no... And then that just means you didn't die. There's no loss of life. There's just remote operated... They're ROVs. You know, remote operated bodies that are, like, going to war and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just saying... the positive technology is going to go at the same pace as the negative technology, and we're actually going to be outpace it and outmaneuver it and outnumber it, and it's not actually going to be a problem. But people like to doom and gloom to make people to manipulate people's behavior. So, you know, it's just how people are. But anyway, I'll catch you guys next time, and I'm going to do the scripting off camera.